Greetings and welcome to a little preview video for the upcoming XCOM 2 campaign. I wanted to give you a quick overview of the mods that will be used in the next campaign. So I thought this might be a good opportunity to talk about the mods, what I think about them and what we can expect from them. So obviously the big one is already on the screen, a Better Advent version 2. So there used to be like 3 different mods: Better Advent, Better AI, Better Squads, Better Pods, something like that. So version 2 combines all these mods, so you have smarter enemies, larger pods, more pods on the maps, especially in the late game, and huge amount of additional enemy types. So this will bring a lot of variety, lots of new abilities, just makes the game more interesting, and yeah, you have to adjust your tactics to the squads you're facing. As the mod suggests, it makes it a lot harder, so you are supposed to use a squad instead of the 4 to 6 squad, as a squad of 6 to 8, so we're going to be using that. I've also took a lot of the recommendations that the mod author has in these files, which you can see in the next few mods that I'm going to show you. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And one of the recommendations, oh no, that's not one of the recommendations. So additional dark events. In the last few campaigns, whenever there was a choice for guerrilla ops, the dark event that I will counter or not counter rarely affected my choice, because I feel like most of the dark events in the base game are pretty much harmless. Maybe the only one is the one that doubles your intel cost. Anything else can be sort of ignored. Additional dark events adds some really nasty dark events, like stuff like enemies now have armor that makes them resistant to grenade damage or explosives, or they have better aim, they have holo targeting rounds, all this kind of stuff. I mean, this screenshot is something we won't see, so there's a dark event for pods with multiple sector pods, but that conflicts with the Better Advent pod modification, so that needed to be removed. But again, there's a huge list here with all the different dark events that can come, like advanced UFO that will find you and will cause a UFO defense or Avenger defense mission, and so on. Lots of interesting stuff, lots of new challenges. So yeah, this one is a big one for me: granite damage Falloff. Now, Long War used to have this and I hated it. I like reliability, and seeing my grenade only doing 1 point of damage kind of sucks, and also the environmental damage is obviously reduced, so it's not the guaranteed cover destruction anymore. So I haven't played with this yet. It's gonna be interesting, but I guess I want to challenge myself, because my usual tactic used to be blow up the cover and then finish them off with a sniper or something like that. So that will probably no longer work. We'll see. Now, if your grenade usage wasn't already nerfed enough with the damage fallout, explosions now destroy corpses. Simple as that. So for research, autopsies, selling them on the black market, you no longer have the corpses if you just blew them up. Just a small tweak to just make me use less explosives. Spoiler alert, I'll probably still use the same amount of explosives and then deal with the outcome here. Squad notoriety. We've used that before in the last Better Long War campaign, but I'm going to revisit it. I probably won't be tinkering with the INI settings that much this time, so I'm going to use the default settings. And yeah, I still prefer notoriety over fatigue, so I wanted to use some kind of mod that does that, and so notoriety got my pick this time. And let's see how much of an impact it will have in this campaign. So, I mean, this is not much to explain here. Can't execute rulers, does exactly does exactly what it says on the tin. You can no longer execute rulers. I haven't been a big fan of repeaters anyway, but it's certainly anticlimactic if you just can execute them. And this makes it so that doesn't happen anymore. We are revisiting additional mission types. I think I finally fixed all the INI settings that led to empty missions. So we're going to have Haven Siege and VIP rioting city stuff and all these kind of extreme missions, which might be a bit tough with the increased enemy count from a better advent, but sounds like fun, doesn't it? So yeah, lots of stuff that's making our job harder. Now for some of the more neutral stuff, so wound recalibration, it just smooths out the amount of days that you'll be wounded for. It doesn't really reduce it, it just means that if two soldiers who have 10 HP and both take a 5 HP wound will be out for about the same time, not one of them for 30 days and the other one for 5 days, because that's currently possible in the base vanilla game, and this smooths the whole thing. Longbow laser pack will be back, so that means slower attack progression because it takes longer to get to plasma, but I just really like both the optics of the weapons, the sound effects. This is a AAA mod that I really enjoy, and yeah, not much else to say here. True concealment, I like the idea of that. Also a better advent kind of hints that you should use some kind of mod that deals with timers, because you have lots of more enemies on the map. So using the default base game concealment and mission timers might be too hard. So this is so true concealment means timer only starts once we break concealment, and default timers means that we have still the default number of turns that you have in the base game despite this. So it's basically a buff for XCOM, so to say, but it's balanced out by the additional enemy count. Class mod. So I was looking around. I didn't want to use the longer classes again because I think some of them are really broken, and in the better advent description there were 2 class packs that are suggested. One is the Paragon classes and the other one is Shadow Ops longer classes. Shadow Ops only has 4 classes in total. It's the Combat Engineer, Dragoon, Hunter and Infantry. Combat Engineer, Shotgun, Grenade Launcher. Dragoon is heavy weapon, no, like machine gun and drone. Hunter is sniper rifle and sword, and infantry is basic rifle and pistol combination. They're all updated to have 3 skill trees, just like the longer classes, and sounded really interesting. It's just 4 classes, but I think that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Previously you had 7 classes for Long War, and we had 1 of each class, so there's not much variety, and from what I've seen on these classes, it really makes sense to have like a Overwatch infantry and a damage infantry, and like have 2 of the same class with different skill trees and not just one cookie cutter build. Haven't played with them yet, but really looking forward to it. The Paragon classes I looked a bit into, also seemed interesting. It's 8 classes in that class pack, but what really made the final decision for me is that the Paragon class mod renames the ranks for the soldiers, and I'm not a big fan of that, so that was then my final decision here. Scanning sites plus. Great screenshot, by the way. If you haven't played with this mod, what it does is it floods your map with lots of different scanning sites. Instead of just having one spot where you can scan, you have like 10 spots. Now that seems like a huge buff, but the effect is that once you scan to actually get the reward, like the engineer or the scientist or the 60 alloys or whatever you are scanning for, you need to complete a mission. So this means it spawns a random guerrilla ops mission. These missions are, as it says here, they are a bit easier than the normal guerrilla ops missions. So your B team, so to say, can do them. But you will have to do a lot more missions. This also means XP requirements for rank ups have been significantly increased. And with notoriety, we will have lots of missions and lots of cycling of our soldiers. Which also means I'll probably throw in a mod which increases our starting barracks size, because with the 14 soldiers that you have in the base game, we'll be quickly out of soldiers, I think. Or maybe not. I mean, we get some from Haven Siege, I will see. Then we have Flawless. This is a very basic mod, which I really like, is that if you manage to complete a mission with a flawless rating, flawless means no deaths, no injuries, then you get a little extra reward. Considering all the stuff that makes things harder for us, I think that's a nice little bonus. Now here's the big one. Grime's loot mod. I've not played with it so far, and I always think that it can be a huge buff to XCOM to have this in the game, because the weapons you get can be ridiculously broken. But I think it's fun. It's a fun mod, and you need to spend research time to unlock the lockboxes and all this stuff. So I think it works, and so far most of the mods you've seen are probably more buffing advanced. So I wanted to add two things that definitely buff XCOM. One of them is Grime's loot mod, and the final one is Metal over Flesh. So this significantly buffs sparks. Well, let's not say it just buffs them, it gives you the option to buff them. Basically, you get a bunch of proving grounds or GTS upgrades for your sparks that you can research and make them stronger, tougher, harder, faster. Give them additional perks, additional equipment slots, etc. So yeah, that's it. That's basically all the mods, or the most notable mods. I will include a full mod list with all the balance mod, and a second mod list with all the cosmetic mods and voice packs and what have you in the description of this video and of all the videos of the campaign. And I'm really looking forward to it. The only thing I'm a bit concerned about with the additional scanning sites and the fact that it's legendary campaign again means we'll have a lot of missions. It's going to be a long campaign, so expect like probably 80 episodes or something like that. Oh well, lots of fun, lots of work. And I'll see you out in the field. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.